Number of trips Clemson's basketball team has made to Chapel Hill, 43. Number of wins, 0. But even with that history, don't expect the Heels to take anything for granted.
They got big guys who can bang on the inside. They got some guys who can take it off the perimeter.
And then their guard play is just tremendous. I think the penetration and the shooting ability.
In the game of basketball, if you can get someone mentally, then maybe you can just take them out of their game. Then maybe you can take the whole team out of the game.
Mentally, North Carolina's basketball team has been on its game all year. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us. Of all the matchups you'll get to see tonight, maybe the most fascinating one to watch will be the point guards. Ed Cota, Terrell McIntyre, just tremendous at running their ball club.
I'll tell you, Mike, you talk about a point guard that's on a roll. Ed Cota doing a phenomenal job passing the basketball. 41 assists in his last 3 games. He's had 3 double-figure games with assists, and he's got guys that can finalize when he dishes the rock inside and gets it to Jamison and also to Carter. Terrell McIntyre, he's the engine that makes them go. They need him to have a big game. His penetration is very, very important. They got to get great penetration out of Mr. McIntyre.
The only time North Carolina lost this year, their 6 players that they rotated in and out got very tired at Maryland. Clemson has a big advantage in depth.
Well, they were also very physical, as Antoine Jamison said. Very strong, physical, and they'll rotate a lot of bodies.
43 trips to Chapel Hill, 43 losses. Rick Barnes would love to break that streak tonight. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the Dean Smith Center at Chapel Hill. Let's take a look at both of the shell lineups for both ball clubs. For Clemson, Greg Buckner was brilliant in the opening game against North Carolina. He matched his career high with 30 and is Clemson's leading scorer on the year. For the Tar Heels, Antoine Jamison has been on an incredible streak the last 5 games, averaging 27.6 points a game, 11 rebounds. He has also taken over as the ACC's leading scorer. He has truly been awesome all year, but in this streak, he has raised it to yet another level.
He has shot 68% in that streak, Mike. He's been automatic. A lot of that created by the penetration ability of Cota.
Maktar Jai to jump center, and guess who? Greg Buckner, all 6'4" of them, standing in the center circle. And Buckner gets the tip, but off to Jamison, back to Carter, the bucket and the foul.
I'll tell
what
you,
a start.
They didn't waste any time right out of the gate with a play right off the tip. Rick Barnes looking on and said, wow, can't believe it. Hey, against Florida State in their last game, they went 20 for 24. Look at this, set play off the tip. And there's the finish. Carter with the explosiveness.
Carter's free throw rattles around and comes out to Iturbe, who gives it up to Johnny Miller. Miller will start because McIntyre has been nursing a bad foot all year long. It's not going to heal during the season. Quickly inside the miss, Carter. Last touch by a Weidman, out of bounds to Carolina.
You know, you look at this Clemson basketball team, lost 4 of their last 6 games, Mike, but there's something interesting about all 4 losses. Heartbreaker to Duke by 1, lost a tough one to Carolina by 3, lost by 5 to Maryland, and 4 to Wake Forest.
The reason you don't see Ed Cota in there right now is essentially they have 6 starters. So they alternate by alphabet, and it's Cota's turn to start the game on the bench tonight. Nearly had an assist there as Clemson throws it away. Cota has had such an incredible streak along with Jamison and Carter. They've played so well lately. Cota is averaging 7.8 assists a game. That's remarkable. Nobody's done that well. You've got to go all the way back to Chris Corciani in '91 when he averaged more than 9 assists.
I'll tell you, he wants that record of 17 in 1 game held by Jeff Lebo. Look at him battling inside, and Iturbe trying to check up on Jamison.
Maktar Jai from outside the free throw line.
Well, you're looking at a club that leads the nation in field goal percentage, 54% as a team, and there are only 3 teams in America shooting better than 50%.
You don't look at Maktar Jai for his offense, only averages about 5.5 points a game.
That's a plus when you get any offense inside. Rick Barnes feels they'll get some good looks offensively. Carolina played great defense against Florida State, and they're picking it up again here.
Christie throws it away as Iturbe was going toward the basket. Christie pass to the corner, and you can tell Rick Barnes doesn't like the fact that his team's head is not in the game right now.
I think a good TO right there by Barnes. He's got to wake them up. But remember, in that game against Duke, they were down 24. And I was yelling to Brett Musburger. I said, blowout city, baby. Get on our filler material. They had the ball with 3 ticks on the clock, down 1.
The series 0-43 here. The last 3 games, 46.7 points is what they have averaged. The average margin here, 21.8. And really, they haven't been a lot closer than that in several years. Terrell McIntyre getting ready to come into the ballgame.
They need him. He really is the guy that controls their offense.
Right now, nobody doing much of a job running it.
Well, Carolina trying to run that motion game, get a good spacing, good execution.
Shammond Williams against Miller.
He's really
to penetrate. Backs off and drains it.
I tell you, he's got that velvet touch. And where he's really improved is handling the basketball. He's got over 100 assists now and only 55 turnovers, and that's a lot better than last year.
He would be a great point guard for most people. As an off guard, he's been tremendous with the assists. Miller nearly tied up. Clemson right now looks a little nervous, a little sloppy.
They look really erratic. They don't seem to have a rhythm.
Butler jump step into the lane. Jamison stuffed it from him. Carter got away with a foul after he knocked that ball into the backcourt.
Yeah, he definitely made a bump right there. Wow.
Miller from 30 feet. Holy cow, just clanked it off the glass.
They don't seem to be focused, Mike. They don't seem to have that concentration right now. They need that first goal to get loose. I'd go to Buckner. I'd try to slide Buckner inside and let him post. He's being played by Ademola right now, Okulaja.
Just to clear out the near side.
He's very versatile. Good post player.
But Turbe left alone, didn't want the outside shot, goes inside, and he will draw a foul.
That's been a nightmare. The Achilles heel all year for Clemson, the free throw line, shooting 60% as a team. And Rick Barnes told us today, he said, I've tried everything. Hey, one day exclusive, just shoot free throws.
He's done that twice in 2 years, and following those games, they've been terrific, but you have a limited amount of time to practice, and you can't practice anything but free throws.
Well, they went 10 for 12 when they utilized it against Wake Forest, and last year, in a big win over Duke, they went 22 for 23.
McIntyre and Jamison in for Clemson. Ed Cota for Carolina. Aturbe, a 56% free throw shooter, gets the first one. And you know, that team stat, if it weren't for McIntyre, they'd be down around 50% as a team.
And that really is a nightmare to a coach, especially in close games. And we just talked about the 4 heartbreakers they have lost in their last 6.
Turbe hits them both. Clemson finally gets on the board at 6-2. And Jamison was held out for a moment. Now he's in there. Big guy out of Vance, South Carolina.
Take a look right there. 0 for 3, Brick City, USA. Here's a look right here. Cota handling the rock.
Just watch Cota pass the ball. He's just remarkable. His vision. Carter, a little fall away. Missed it. Rebounded by Iturbe. Now here comes McIntyre.
Eric Carter playing McIntyre out here. And Carter checking McIntyre instead of Cota in that matchup.
Little jump hook by Jamison. Nothing but the backboard. And a foul against Clemson. Boy, the shots have just been awful for the Tigers.
Look at Bill Guthridge. They haven't missed a beat. What a job he has done on that sideline. A diaper dandy, a rookie. Look at Rick Barnes. Intensity galore. He's really increased their attendance by better than 30% since he's been down there at Clemson.
Really got him fired up again about basketball. The problem right now is not having his team fired up. It's having their shot selection and their mistakes cut down a little bit. Carter into the lane, 8-2.
I always liked him. I'll tell you, Mike, he's got sensational ability, very athletic. He's got that tremendous bounce off the floor, and he's got that strut of a star. He knows he can play.
Should be a hold away from the ball on Maktar Jai. That's his first personal.
You know, when you think about Carolina's numbers, you and I were talking driving over here today. What really amazes me, 36 of their last 38 have been in a W column. Only a loss, which we did, that overtime game with Maryland, and then the tough loss to Arizona in the NCAA Final Four. That is amazing against the competition A+.
Going for their 21st win tonight. That would make it 28 years in a row they've had that many. Jamison with another stuff. And Clemson just can't get anything going inside. And that's where they need to play against North Carolina. 8-2 Heels early.
A-10 update. The second time in 5 days, Dayton gets a big home court victory. Tied against Temple, of course. Why not let the freshman shoot the three? Tony Stanley buries it. Adds the winning margin as Dayton knocks off the Owls 67-62. Back to Mike and Dick in Chapel Hill.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. You see how close these losses have been. But here at North Carolina, the only time they've been within 10 points was back in 81 and 82. So here doesn't fit the rest of the stats.
I'll tell you, look at those stats right there. It's been really tough because they had the loss of McIntyre, and that certainly hurt Rick Barnes. But expectations, preseason, they were number 5 in America in a lot of polls. And the bottom line is, you look at disappointments this year. I think Rick would tell you he's a little disappointed. Certainly down at Fresno State, UNLV down there. Vegas thought they'd have a better year. And I thought Xavier thought they would have a better year than they've had.
McIntyre, he's a big three-point threat for him outside. They'd like to get him on track. Shot clock down to 4. McIntyre fires and misses. Nice rebound by Iturbe, his third of the ball game.
That's the second three they've tried, Mike, and they've shot it from beyond NBA mark. They're not really getting good shots. Shot selection is so important.
McIntyre this time a better shot with the same result.
Head up all the time. Coda's got great vision, as you said earlier.
Jamison, nice catch, gets it out to Shammond Williams, who will take it. Short, and Buckner lets it go out of bounds out to the Tigers. Vincent Witt will come in for the Clemson Tigers. 6'6" sophomore out of Greensboro.
He had a great game against South Carolina, scored 17 points in that win. It was an emotional win, intrastate rivals. And the bottom line is they had to play that game without McIntyre, and Witt really stepped up.
Witt can give you some quick offense coming off the bench.
He's a slasher.
Great slash there. Then he tried to dump it off. McIntyre got it back. Great pass to Jamison.
Nice pass inside. Jamison very effective around the blocks inside. He's got an Arnold Schwarzenegger body. I mean, he is really chiseled. Just Coda with that great vision. See McIntyre, little guard.
Okulaja in the lane, and that's why they lead the world in shooting. And an injured Tar Heel. It looks like Jamison went down again. That looks like the fall he had earlier in the season.
Well, he's had a problem with that elbow. Had it against North Carolina State. Look at Jamison inside. He gets a lot of bruises, a lot of bumps. He said they're very physical. He's got Jamison on him, who's a super strong guy. Lays the bump on him. He's got a bad elbow, but came down on the right rather than the left.
Well, he landed on his pelvis in a game before. It was really limping.
Against North Carolina State, I mean, he was limping, came back, and he put 36 on the board.
They might want to hit him in the back every game.
What a beautiful kid, too. He's got great personality, classy, good student.
Muhammad Wooney, number 34, is in for the first time. This is Buckner with a little runner. And Greg Buckner, who had 30 in the loss at Clemson.
Oh, what a great pass.
Carter, a brilliant pass, and down goes Shammond Williams.
They wanted an intentional.
Lay still. Come on, just lay still if you can.
You see the great look right here by Carter. He goes around his back, kicks it out, the good catch. We're blocked out right there. And he bounces right up. There's the catch by Shammond. You don't want to put this guy on a free throw line. He's automatic.
The foul is on McIntyre. It will be his first.
I'll tell you, if there's two guys I'd like on a line for me late in the game, it would be Shammond Williams or Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan assassin from Duke. They're like automatic. He's
hit 34 straight, only 7 short of Jeff Lebo's school record. Ironically, he missed 4 of his first 9 this year. And the crowd really getting on Rick Barnes as he's talking to the officials. And I am not sure what the stoppage in play is about. Now we understand Jamison has a cut on his elbow and blood is coming out. So they're going to have to tape him up and also clean up the floor.
That's going to make Shammond think about it a little bit. You got 34 in a row on that free throw line. You sort of breaks up your rhythm a little bit going to that sideline. Here it is. Look, he's going to start working the floor. There's a look at...
Your college basketball dreams came true this year. Hundreds of extra hoop games night after night available on pay-per-view. You can see action from all the big conferences and more. Order today by calling DirecTV at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or by calling your local cable company. And you can watch them all.
Looking at 34 in a row out of Shammond Williams. He's waiting for them to clear this up so he can get right there on that line and stroke this jump shot. He's smart stepping off, though. I tell you, you talk about great backcourts. You certainly got to like Cota and Shammond Williams. Next week when they hook up here with Trajan Langdon and certainly Wojciechowski, that's going to be a special matchup. Where you think about Bibby and Simon. Great teams have great guard play, Mike. It's not just about size. You need great perimeter play in college basketball.
How would you like to pick the ACC team this year?
Oh,
I mean, there's so many guys at guards and at forward. It's going to be a tremendous choice to try to pick somebody. And Shammond Williams, the streak is broken.
Oh, not fair. They made him wait too long. That's not fair. We're going to count that. That's not fair. They made him break his rhythm. I don't like that, Mike. Come on now. Let's wipe that one out. Take it out of your book. Take it away.
Well, he just started another streak.
Gee whiz, that's tough. You got to put an asterisk in there that he had to wait. Put an asterisk. Come on now. You got to put the asterisk down, Mr. Statman.
11-6. There are not a lot of good feelings between these two ball clubs or the fans of these ball clubs. And here's the travel call on Witt. The third turnover for Clemson. Every time McIntyre touches the ball, he's going to be booed for the hard foul on Shammond Williams.
Well, you know, the offensive efficiency right now in their half-court game of Rick Barnes is really non-existent. They're not getting any rhythm at all to their offensive sets. North Carolina charts every possession. They look for the number of points they get per possession. Against Florida State, it was 1.45, which is unbelievable.
Cota dodging behind screens at the top of the circle.
Nice
Williams, nice head fake. And he buried it.
He can flat out stroke the jump shot. That's just great guard play right there. Great spacing, good execution, and squaring and finalizing.
Shammond Williams has 5. The crowd still on McIntyre.
They're going to go to a zone right now. They come out of the man-to-man, multiple defenses. Go to the zone, got to step in the gap.
McIntyre, this is Witt. Buckner.
Got to get in the gaps in that zone.
Tried to get it in the middle. The shot clock is down to 9.
Buckner's got to look for some shots. They're going to get Buckner some looks.
Buckner will try it from the outside and hit the 3. And Buckner, who until this year really didn't take that many outside shots and wasn't very good at it, hit that one.
Right there.
I'll tell you, he's really a versatile player. What I love about Buckner, he has the ability to post up inside as well as any guard in America.
Mohamed Wooni picks up a foul away from the ball. That's his first. Witt will come out. Christie is back in for Clemson.
You know, all the expectations with Clemson, they were 23-10 last year. They really finished strong, lost that overtime, double OT to Minnesota, the NCAA, and they returned 83% of their scoring, 90% of their rebounds.
If Terrell McIntyre had been healthy all year, they still might be undefeated. They played that well with him getting only limited minutes. Jamison blocked by Wooni. Let's see if Wooni gets the foul.
Jamison trying to post inside where he really excels. Mike, you talked about his great play the last 5 games. Try these numbers out for Mr. Jamison. Player of the year numbers. He's posted up inside, tries to show the hand, and he's so quick, draws the contact. He's 55. You ready for this, people? 55 for his last 79 shots.
And Player of the Week honors came his way again, the 9th time in his career that he has been named the ACC Player of the Week. David Thompson was named 9 times in his career. Tim Duncan, the only one ever named more. He was 11 times. And Jamison's got a few weeks left to catch him, doesn't he?
Well, I'll tell you one thing what he's really improved on. That free throw line. Freshman year, 52%. And then he went up to like about 57%. Worked on that. And today is in the 70s as a junior. Great work ethic.
It's the thing you like about him. He's improved on everything. Worked hard on his outside shot and his free throw shooting over the summer. Buckner trying to get penetration. Push back. Hit the shot and the foul on Carter.
Well, they're getting him involved now offensively. We talked about it a minute ago. Buckner has to get involved. As you look at Bill Guthridge on that sideline, the diaper dandy. Now here's Ball handling ability right here by McIntyre. I mean, he can go between his legs, got all the shake and bake, but see, doesn't beat him. Doesn't beat him. That's good defense. Doesn't allow him to penetrate.
Buckner with a three-point play. He has 8 of Clemson's first 12. And it looked like North Carolina was going to blow them out early. We've got a three-point game.
They're not going to go away. This team is too talented. If you're going to beat Clemson, you're going to beat them late. Maybe make mistakes on the special situations, but the bottom line is they're too talented to get blown out.
Well, they proved they'd never quit with that comeback against Duke. Here's Jamison being bodied by Weidman, and Weidman will get the foul, his first.
Notice their game plan right now is to rotate a lot of bodies on Jamison, whether it be a Jamison playing Jamison or whether it be a Weidman. See there right now, we got Weidman checking him. There's Antoine moving out the ball.
And Weidman will play you some tough defense. Cota for the deep inbound.
His mom is in the stands today. His former high school coach, Rock Eisenberg, who has a great love for him out of Brooklyn at Tilden High School, is here to see him play.
Williams forced that pass in there. Somehow Jamison got it back, put it up and missed. Buckner with a rebound.
So quick the way Jamison pounced on that ball.
He leaves the floor faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with John Ack.
Carter with a hold as Buckner was trying to get past the screen. That's 2 on Vince Carter. And remember, any foul trouble for North Carolina is real trouble with 6 guys that they play. Back in a moment.
It appears Michigan State likes the taste of life atop the Big Ten Conference. It's fitting to get ugly. Antonio Smith cleans the glass. Charlie Bell the lay-in. They are taking the Hoosiers behind the shed, up 20 points midway in the second half. And Iowa-Penn State is a 5-point game, under 12 minutes to go. Mike, Dick.
Greg Buckner certainly doing his job here as he has helped get his club back in it. They're down by 3 to North Carolina. Buckner with 8 points so far. Remember, he had 30 in the first meeting that matched a career high. The rest of the team only with 4. He's shooting 60%. They're shooting 16%.
Well, you know, that's what a star is supposed to do. Your club is really, really struggling. You step up. Chris just alluded to the blowout with Michigan State over Indiana. Talked to Bobby Knight, called me yesterday, and he was singing the praises of Michigan State. He said, wow. And they're one of the surprise teams and a great point guard on the team, please.
I don't think he wanted to be that prophetic, however.
No, not that prophetic at all. A lot of frustration there. Rick Barnes has done a heck of a job. What I like about him, he's really brought a lot of excitement and enthusiasm on that campus at Clemson.
Foul was on Weidman, his second, and it puts North Carolina in the bonus. The Tar Heels have committed only 4 fouls, and Jamison goes to the line.
He worked all summer on that free throw line. Really, really worked hard because he said, I know I'm going to go to the line a great deal.
Okulaja last to touch it, knocked it out of Weidman's hand.
What I really like about North Carolina, Mike, they all understand their roles. They know what they're supposed to do. Cota knows he's a passer. Jamison knows he's a scorer. Carter knows he's electricity in transition. Shaman knows he's a shooter. They understand their roles.
But even the guys who scored or who are the so-called stars are very unselfish. Christie, who has range, buries a 3. We're tied at 15.
Well, you know, he leads the ACC right now in three-point shooting. And his first 2 years, he was shooting 23% from three-point range. He's better than 50% right now.
Doesn't take all that many. He's very efficient with it, however. Weidman takes the ball away from Jamison, but there will be a foul on either he or Iturbe. And it's Weidman, his 3rd.
Take a look at Jamison right now. I'll watch people bump him. See right here when you're a star, look at Weidman. Now Weidman's playing him. I mean, they're going to attack him. I mean, they got Iturbe and Weidman, everybody getting a piece of him. 3 fouls already for Weidman. They got fouls they can give, though, with the people they can rotate. My player of the year, Mike, mid-season. It would have been a war with me and LaFrentz, but LaFrentz had that injury, unfortunately. In fact, I did tonight on ESPN, my fast break, my mid-season All-American team. And I lined up with Pat Garrity of Notre Dame, certainly Mr. Jamison, Paul Pierce, Mike Bibby, and Bonzi Welch. You should see this kid at Ball State. My honorary captain, Rick LaFrentz.
Jamison gives his club a 1-point lead. Jamison, I mean, just remarkable. Now he leads the ACC in scoring. He's only 1/10 of a rebound away from Matt Harboring for that lead.
They have Carter now playing McIntyre. See, they're going to go with size against the little guy. Look at this. They're going to try to double him up. You got to reverse the ball.
Jamison kicks it out. Buckner wants to go inside. Christie will try another three. Rimmed out on that one. Everybody blocked out, but nobody went for the ball. Iturbe got it, kicked it out of bounds.
Well, you know, that was a clinic on how to block out, get a piece of the guy. But the bottom line, as you said, they didn't release and go to the ball. Now look at the double up. Now they're going to jump up and going to try to double McIntyre to get the ball out of his hands.
They left the 10-foot circle. The ball bounced in the middle, and Iturbe went and got it. Carter for three.
I'll tell you what, he's special. He's really a special player. He can really explode and give you that great momentum with the monster jam. He can step out and knock the three. And here come the Heels fans. Here they come. They're standing up.
Carter, 10th in the ACC and scoring nearly 16 points a game. Steal by Jamison. Taken back by Buckner. Jamison for Clemson, little jump hook, and he cuts it to two.
You know, it's amazing. He was working on that all this afternoon with his left hand and his right hand at the shoot-around. Rick Barnes trying to convince him to utilize the jump hook.
You keep expecting to see that young man become a star, and it just hasn't happened. The lob to Carter, he's undercut. And the crowd will really get on McIntyre for this one.
Well, they're trying to eliminate the lob by playing behind, not trying to play in front and deny. There's Carter who tries to get behind and rotate over.
He just grabbed him by the shirt, Dick. That should be an intentional foul on Buckner. And you can see Okulaja lobbying for it. He never went for the ball at all, but they couldn't see it. It's a 1-and-1.
What they're trying to do with Carter, rather than extend defensively and get into denial and have him run backdoor cuts and get behind, Rick Barnes said today at the shoot-around he wants to keep Carter in front of him. Carter, a 68% free throw shooter, preseason All-ACC. Has really improved his defense, too. He doesn't get enough credit for it. Well, you know, his freshman year, that was the problem. Why he didn't get a lot of playing time. Carter tried to save that when the ball got out of bounds. You find out in North Carolina in a hurry. You don't play defense, you don't play at all. Well, they get some of these stars down here, too. The bottom line is when you come here, they don't care you were Mr. Basketball in Florida. They got a few other guys that can play. Shammond Williams, also a good defender. Here in Duke, it's the same story. You are an all-around, unselfish player, or you don't get in a game. What a matchup next Thursday. I just count the moments. Duke and North Carolina. Wojo versus Mr. Cota. Langdon versus Williams. But they got a matchup here tonight. McIntyre, tough pass, and it's off Jamison out of bounds. The best in the NFL are in Hawaii for the 1998 Pro Bowl. ESPN and ESPN2 there for all the action as well. Things get started on the Deuce Friday with a road to the Pro Bowl. Then on Saturday, NFL Primetime Pro Bowl Special and NFL Countdown on Sunday. Hope you'll join us for all of that. Cota against McIntyre. Great job by McIntyre that didn't allow him to beat him. Jai, that just hit the front of the net. They'll allow him to take that shot all day, Clemson. Jamison is clutching his left arm, the one he hyperextended when the season started. Iturbe behind the back pass to Jamison, blocked by Carolina's Jamison. Yeah, Jamison with that great block. There's a block here, too. Very physical out here, Mike. A lot of contact on this floor. Cota ran over Terrell McIntyre. That'll be his second. Here's Antoine Jamison. Iturbe playing him right here, trying to block and keep him off the glass. You must keep him off. There's a little bump right there. That's where he got the bump on that elbow that's bothering him. Must be very tender. He missed the opening game of the season because of that. And we've seen him get it bumped a couple of times this year. Cota in the first matchup didn't have any points against Clemson, but he had 10 assists. And that's what I look for him to do. Penetrate, get the ball to key people, find out who's in a rhythm, and get up the rock. He's hit 18 of his last 20 free throws. Haywood, they're trying to get him some more minutes as the season wears along. He'll come in from Jai. You know, we keep waiting, everybody out there, so-called people that are involved in basketball, saying, when is Depp going to really hurt this club? Hurt him one time, he came back to bite him, and that was against Maryland. In fact, at the end of that game, Jamison was so tired, he went 1 for 5 on a free throw line. Miller caught up in the air, got it to Jamison. Now Iturbe wants to call Miller back out, and McIntyre is on the bench. Miller
Missed the three badly. That's what they really hoped he would be able to do for them. Hit the three, the transfer from Temple. He just hasn't done it.
No, hasn't done it. It's had a lot of injuries. Had knee surgery to start the season. He made 9 threes against Cincinnati in the NCAA tournament, and that's not against Cupcake City. I got that game tomorrow. Cincinnati, one of the hot clubs in America, play tomorrow night against Louisville, who has played an NBA schedule, Denny Crum. What a schedule those kids have played at Louisville.
Harold Jamison called for a second foul, and Rick Barnes talking to Rick Hartzell. He doesn't think he's getting the better of this deal tonight, and he has constantly been in contact with one of the officials. His club has really racked up an awful lot of fouls so far. Carolina's only been called for 4. Clemson has been whistled for 11.
See, I think too much conversation going on between the officials and the coaches. I mean, you got to let those guys yelp a little bit, but just blow the whistle and stay away from any conversation.
Haywood hits both of the free throws. Carolina extends its lead to 5.
It's a danger time right now with McIntyre out of the lineup.
Whip down the lane and followed by Iturbe.
Iturbe with that offensive rebound, Whip with that slashing ability.
Iturbe has done a great job on the boards tonight.
They've done a great job trying to contain the penetration of Cota.
Okulaja on the drive. He's held by Christie. That's going to be 2 on Christie. So Christie has 2. Tom Weidman on the bench with 3. McIntyre has 2. Buckner 1. Jamison 2. Muhammad Woolley 1. And Rick Barnes back working Rick Hartzell.
I think he finally agreed. He nodded his head. Okay, okay. Rick Hartzell, by the way, is the AD at Bucknell. See, these guys do more than just blow whistles,
Don't they? Okulaja hits the free throw. Buckner will come back in for the Tigers, and Christie will sit down with his 2 personals.
You know, Clemson's one of those clubs, when you look into the postseason, a club you'd like to avoid because they have so much potential. I mean, they're a very dangerous club, and in this league, people beat up on each other, and that's what really hurts, especially in the middle of the pack.
Sure, 4 points for Okulaja, back to a 5-point lead. Witt with Shammond Williams on him.
Allen's back on the floor right now. They think he's eventually going to be a heck of a post player for them.
Iturbe turnaround jump shot, missed it totally. Allen's back, knocked it off of Haywood out of bounds. We've got a timeout on the court. 7:52 to go first half. The Heels by 5.
Ole Miss in Georgia has been one of the most competitive, hard-fought games of the night. Here's the dog, G.G. Smith, to Fennessy Ransom, who punches it. Right now, a 4-point Georgia lead. Back to Chapel Hill.
All right, thanks, Chris. It's a 5-point game here with North Carolina on top, 24-19. Sometimes statistics can shock you if you haven't kept track of them early. 17 rebounds for Clemson. 9 of those on the offensive board, but only shooting 35%. They can't keep up.
Well, when you talk about aggressive players, you look at the field goal percentage, only shooting 35-58 for Carolina, which has almost been their pattern. The bottom line is Carolina leads the ACC with an 8.6 rebounding margin, and here they're getting beat up on the glass.
Iturbe with the miss and the rebound to Ademola Okulaja.
You know, Chris just showed the score with Georgia. That's another one of those clubs that's been a major disappointment. Haywood getting a lot of playing time right now, Mike.
Yes, he is with that lead. Shammond Williams tries the scoop shot. He'll draw the foul.
See, I think you got to develop a little depth. You got to get him some minutes to rest people. Very difficult to talk about going the entire year with a Super 6.
Foul was on Miller, his first. And it's the 1-and-1. Shammond Williams will go to the line. Had that 34 straight free throw streak broken earlier.
Yeah, we're not going to count it, though. We got the asterisk there because they gave him too much of a break. Look at this. He's nothing but Nyla. I mean, he strokes it just like Mr. Fowler. Like Fowler's automatic in that studio, he's automatic on the line. Oh, he missed 2 tonight. He missed 2 tonight, Mike.
1 out of 2 on both trips. The lead is 6. 6 points for Shammond Williams.
They got a foul on Haywood down here on Allen's back, and he just threw him off the baseline.
Haywood picks up his first.
Haywood played in high school with Witt. They played together down in Greensboro, Dudley High School.
He's 7 feet against Allen's back at 7-1. There isn't a lot of space left in the middle.
They got to get somebody to step up and score, like you and I were talking during the break. This kid Miller has scoring potential, but you know, he's got to start to do it now. They got to get some points out of him.
Buckner, somehow he just does it inside.
He's the best low post player for a guard. When you invert him and rotate him to the boxes, he's so effective, Buckner.
Buckner has 10 of Clemson's 21 points. 3-second violation against the Heels.
See, freeze it right here. Freeze it right here. See this getting a post position inside. Now he's got Williams on it. He recognizes the size advantage, and they throw the ball inside. He seals and gets the deuce.
And he's so strong going up. He doesn't care who's there.
That's why the NBA scouts really like him. They like his ability to be versatile, be a guy that can go inside and out.
Miller, nice job backing away from the trap. The Turbay goes baseline, caught up, fouled by Maktar Jai. That's 2 on the senior from Dakar, Senegal.
He's fouled on 4 games. He's got 4 DQs. Maktar. Turbay did a great job freezing the defensive player, getting to the rack right there. What a job he did last year in the opening game, passing the basketball against a great Kentucky team. He beat Kentucky's press with his passing ability.
Turbay has this one roll in.
You know,
he has 5 points on the night. We have a 3-point game again.
They got to get some scoring from other people. Guys like Turbay got to help out. It can't just be Buckner.
Well, when McIntyre isn't in there, they're really in trouble offensively. But they just can't play him all the time because of that bruised foot.
And they hang with you, though. They stay in the game because of their toughness, their physical ability, and their depth, and their defensive ability. They really get after you defensively, Mike. They really claw.
Jai to Shammond Williams, knocked out of bounds by Miller, out to the Heels with 17 seconds on the shot clock.
North Carolina up 2, not really getting a rhythm to their offense either against the kind of defense they're meeting here tonight. The physical contact. You haven't seen any of those dunks and those slams.
Clemson can force you to play ugly. Shammond Williams, another scoop shot, another foul. Looks like Miller again.
You're not going to the basket unmolested against this club. You're going to have to make the shot with pressure all over you. Rick Barnes' club is going to attack.
14th team foul in less than 14 minutes the half against Clemson. Now, even when you get a lot of fouls to give, you can't do that against a team like North Carolina.
Look at that free throw line, 91%.
So 3 out of 5 tonight.
Talk about great coaching jobs. Obviously, the job that Bill Guthridge has done has been sensational as a diaper dandy. First year as a head coach, 30 years plus as an assistant. Tubby Smith doing a great job at Kentucky when you think of losing all that talent they lost.
Tough to look at Bill and call him a rookie, though, isn't it?
I know, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, he's not a rookie. He's a rookie because he's never had that title head coach. But anytime you can sit better than 30 years next to Dean Smith, you know a little bit about basketball.
Anybody familiar with the North Carolina program just thrilled that Bill Guthridge is getting this opportunity.
Beautiful person.
Witt spins in his lane. That should be goaltending against Maktar Jai, and it is.
No doubt about it right there. Vince Witt demonstrating his slashing ability. He likes to slide and glide. Take a look at him right here. There he is with that spin, hanging, the good body control, and there's the goaltending. Interfering with that. Got it on its downward flight.
27-25.
Nice pass.
Knocked out of bounds. And now the officials are going to talk about it because one saw something, the other one didn't. Steve Gordon made one call. Carl Hess came over and said, I had a better angle, I saw it.
And they made the right call. That's the bottom line.
This is a good officiating crew with Hartzell, Gordon, and Croft.
Well, Fred Barakat does a great job as the supervisor, constantly evaluating his people and constantly reminding them and looking at tapes, analyzing.
Well, Fred is not just a figurehead in that job. He really works hard at it.
You got that right.
Fall-away jumper, Shammond Williams. Tough shot, and he couldn't hit it. Clemson with a chance to tie or take the lead.
And there's Buckner with the rebound, and he's doing it all for him, handling the basketball. Now he's got Carter checking him. He's trying to get a little one-on-one with him.
Turbay goes right down the lane and scores. And will get the foul from Maktar Jai.
What they did is they cleared out right in that sequence, got a nice seam, and Turbay utilizing the left hand gets that great dribble penetration to break the defense down. Now take a look, coming right at you. There's Turbay. Look at the hole he has right to the basket. Here's the contact by Jai.
Turbe has 8 points. He's only averaged 5.7 a game, and really had to sit out 2 years ago because of a blood clot in his shoulder. They really thought he was going to be more of an offensive player than he has been. Missed that shot.
And putting him on our free throw line. I'll tell you, Mike, it's amazing. It's amazing the quantity of free throws they're getting. You know, we're in a hotel lobby, and I had so many people come over talking about Duke versus North Carolina. I said, wait a minute, forget about Duke. You got to match up with Clemson right now, and you better not be thinking about Duke.
You know, the amazing thing is when we're in a hotel lobby and they don't come over to you, you go over to them.
No doubt about it. I love it. I'm going to go lobby. Do I make all lobby?
Oh, absolutely. You're the king.
I make all lobby.
Okulaja misses the first. He'll get another. Really, with all the opportunities they have at the free throw line tonight, North Carolina really hasn't taken advantage of it. 12 out of 20 as a team. That's only 60%. And they're better than that.
They are much better than that on the free throw line. I think they've really been a little challenge here tonight in trying to execute their half-court game. We have not seen the rhythm and the fluidness of North Carolina in their half-court game against the physical defense of Clemson.
Clemson has never led until now. 5:03 to go first half. Allen's back hits a baseline jumper.
And the big freshman knocks it down. They feel he's going to be a heck of a player.
What a pass to Jamison from Cota, and Allen's back. Thought he had the block, will pick up the foul. What a pass.
Great look by Cota, but the bottom line, as we talked about earlier, you're not going to get any automatic layups. You're going to have to go to the line. Here comes the contact right on Jamison as Allen's back.
A lot of ball there.
They think he's going to be a really future star at Clemson, the big guy, the 7-footer.
Jamison hits the free throw, tied at 29.
He's got those long arms, Antoine Jamison. Charlotte superstar out of Charlotte, North Carolina. By the way, North Carolina, Charlotte really coming on big score. Great player by the name of DeMarco Johnson.
North Carolina regains the lead at 30-29. Allen's back, incidentally, the first 7-footer at Clemson since Tree Rollins, who had a great career there.
See, they're trying to spread the defense and take you one-on-one. That's what they're doing right there. Spread the defense and take you one-on-one, and it's working.
Turbe has 10 points. He is a good enough ball handler at 6'7" to play that role.
See what they're doing with now? They got Wincheck and Cota to bother his vision and play pick people out.
Okulaja, what a shot by him. He's got 7, and the heels are back on top.
He's the great role player. I'll tell you one thing, Mike. They're going to have to lace him up and come to play today. This is not going to be Cupcake City here against this Clemson team.
Allen's back again. Porter.
Look at the look on his face. He says, I'm bad, baby. I'm the bomb.
Vince Carter was at the top of the circle. He saw it coming, and he went and got it. Holy cow.
See, now they're spreading the court, taking you one-on-one. That's all they're doing.
Buckner foul. Offensive foul on Buckner.
This place is fired up now. Rick Barnes' strategy is to spread the court and to beat North Carolina one-on-one. He's going to make them play one-on-one defense.
Man, what a block by Carter. Are you kidding me? If that was a volleyball game, he'd have killed someone.
You like that spike there, huh? It's interesting to see the game plan of Barnes struggling early with his offensive sets. He goes to a one-on-one maneuver. Dennis Felton behind him, trying to assist him.
That is 18 fouls against Clemson in the first half.
Well, he took the shoot 60%. He's going to put him on the line.
Okulaja at one point turned and pointed at Rick Barnes. You don't know why. And Carter, gee whiz, missed that one terrible.
Yeah, not even close. That was a brick city right there.
And he's 0 for 3 at the line. And Barnes snapping back at somebody.
See, too much conversation with the officials. I think too much conversation going on between the officials and Rick Barnes rather than just blow the whistle and get in the rhythm of the game.
Well, if you're Rick Barnes, you've got to try to defend your ball.
Oh, no, I don't blame Rick Barnes.
Oh, you're saying the officials shouldn't respond?
Yeah, they should be responding as often. I don't blame Rick. You can do what you can to help the club. That's a good coaching maneuver. Oh, he's got a little smile on his face right there.
Foul under the basket was on Antoine Jamison. That'll be his second.
I just think that the officials got to get on with blowing the whistle and stay away from that part of the game.
Iturbe will go back to the line, just having a great offensive performance as he carried Iturbe tonight.
Yeah, he has stepped it up because he's went to that one-on-one maneuver, and he seems to really respond to that and likes that.
11.6 rebounds in less than 17 minutes.
That's not bad, is it? That's big time. And that's Dennis Rodman numbers.
Against North Carolina, and he's 5 out of 6 from the line.
He's got a little better look than Rodman, though.
So do you.
And that's saying a lot.
33-32, Clemson.
We're going to take a look at what they're doing here offensively when we look at Clemson. Right now, as we see them in a situation, they are going to go right here, freeze it, right here, trying to get one-on-one into this lane and trying to spread the defense. Trying to spread the defense, but they want to get one-on-one in the lane with dribble penetration. And there it is, Iturbe just beats him one-on-one to the basket, spread the court, and get that isolation. And Iturbe's having a big-time first half.
Now, if that's working against you, what do you like to do as a coach? Could you go to a zone and just cut that off?
Well, the zone would obviously cut that down and make you get more ball movement. The bottom line is I think you can give a little help and make him kick the ball out until they can prove they can shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Jamison got away from Allen's back, put it up, didn't get the ball, but the foul, followed by Carter.
Carter's got that great explosive bounce. He put a Duncan show on here against Florida State. I'll tell you one thing, he's the best dunker in college basketball. You get him in transition, he's marvelous with the jam.
Witt goes into the lane, it's stolen away by Carter.
Watch the pass, watch the pass.
Oh, that was a tough one. Cota couldn't really expect to hit that one. It was a 2-on-3. He makes the pass, and Miller will pick up the foul.
See, I thought he was going to throw the bounce pass inside. Now look at Carter right here with the last possession, the little jump shot. They're playing him tough. He gets those open looks, and there's the jam. Nobody blocks out on Carter. Now this Carter sneaking out in transition. Cota's got a look on him. Cota wants to flip it up to him. They don't let him get the good catch.
Miller got the foul. That's his third. And Carter hits the first free throw.
Carter having a big-time junior season. The Three Musketeers have been so solid. That's what they label themselves. Talking Okulaja, Jamison, and Carter. Johnny Miller, 3 personal fouls. Played for John Chaney down at Temple.
McIntyre is back in there. The missed free throw. It's a 2-point game. Witt with Cota back. And Witt carried the ball.
Good call by Rick Hartzell. No doubt about it. He carried that. He said, wait a minute, now Michael Jordan gets away with that all the time.
I'm glad they put this rule back or started emphasizing it in college basketball. Guys got away. You might as well have a handle on the side. Heels by 2 as we approach the 3-minute mark.
One thing they've done, Clemson, defensively, they have really contained Cota and not allow him to get the great look to make the great pass.
Okulaja got it to Carter. Banked it up, and the foul.
What a super play by Carter. What he did to seal off the defensive player was a thing of beauty. I mean, what a great post play by Carter on the inside, and did the rest with his touch and his great feel. Take a look at Carter right now. He's going to try to post up number 15. There he is inside. Now he's going to post in the box here, and then he's going to seal off, and does a great job to seal the defender off.
Dick, that was the 20th foul against Clemson. I don't know that I have ever done a game when one team committed 20 personal fouls in the first half.
I can't remember either, Mike. I tell you, that's a large number. And to be right in the game is amazing. Only down 4. See now, spreading the court again.
Iturbe, Allen's back. Missed the shot. Iturbe tried to keep it alive. Allen's back saved it.
McIntyre can shoot the 3.
Buckner, and he walked. The 9th turnover against Clemson.
Clemson was more effective when they went to the spread and went to the little one-on-one offensive maneuver with dribble penetration.
37-33 Heels. North Carolina committing only 2 turnovers in this game so far.
Well, the one thing, they played that half-court pack-it-in kind of defense, Clemson. There's Cota now. They have Buckner playing them. They're going to go to zone. They're going to zone a little right here. They're going to zone. Danger player.
Brad Frederick, number 35, in for some rare minutes. Pass by Cota to Shammond Williams.
They run that play as well as anyone. That play on the baseline against the zone where they flip it over the top. Usually it's the Carter.
Iturbe goes low to Buckner Oh, what a spin.
That's what I said earlier, Mike. He's the best low post player for a guard in America.
Coda back the other way, and boy, when you get enough tempo game with Coda, he will really rack up the assists.
You show me a guard in America that can post up like Buckner.
Hustle to get the loose ball. The lob, and lost by Okulaja.
Trying to make a spectacular play there. Wasn't available. He's got to knock some shots down. McIntyre. I got to get him in the game offensively.
Nearly a steal by Okulaja. Buckner got it to the big guy, Allen's back. He hits it, and it looked like Antoine Jamison will pick up his third foul.
Wow, that is big. And Jamison goes to the sideline with 3. Allen's back's been very impressive.
Yes, he has.
Hey, remember we had that other freshman who was so impressive? The kid from out of Maryland, Artisich? He was so impressive against North Carolina. Maybe you have a way of bringing out the best of those 7-foot kids.
It sure looks that way. Allen's back with 4 points in the game.
He's got a beautiful mom. I know that. I met his mom. Lovely lady. Met her down at Little John Coliseum.
He originally was going to go to Boston College.
A lot of guys were originally going to go to Boston College.
That's
the
true.
problem. They lost their
That's
coach,
true.
Jim O'Brien. They really messed up there big time.
39-37. Shammond Williams out of the corner with the miss.
Elton Tyler was going to go there at Dapena. I mean, I could go on Bradley at Kentucky. They all committed. They'd have a heck of a team.
Well, if you didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd swear North Carolina was up by 15
I
points.
know.
But they're only up by 2.
That's because of defense and rebounding.
Ikara Turbe with the miss. Haywood with a rebound. Williams. Back to Williams. He goes underneath to Okulaja. A little jump hook.
So unselfish. So unselfish. Always making that extra pass. Always looking for one another. So typical of North Carolina basketball. Coaches love that kind of play. When you see star players making that extra pass.
About an 11-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. They can't hold for the final play. McIntyre trying to free him up for the 3. He missed it. Frederick with a rebound. And now Carolina can play for the last shot.
Recognize the name Frederick. His dad is the AD down there at Kansas. Hired Roy Williams.
Coda, who has more than 3 assists to every turnover this year. What a remarkable ratio. Okulaja. Can't get the run. Haywood. The bucket and the foul with no time on the clock. Does it count?
Yes, sir. They're going to count it. Brendan Haywood. Go.
And a technical foul on Rick Barnes to top it off.
Oh, you just knew that was going to happen tonight. There's been so much conversation, so much rap going on, so much talk on that sideline. Not a kind of tea you want to go in a locker room. You don't want that kind of Uncle Bo on the side of the heels.
The foul was on Allen's back, his 3rd. Rick Hartzell, who is the referee, is talking to Rick Barnes, and Rick is beefing about getting that technical.
Now look at Haywood. Now look at the clock. Let's see if he gets it off in time. Takes it up. Yes, sir.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Good call.
Good call. They had a controversial one last night with Kentucky and Vanderbilt, and Brad Nestor and Larry Conley were right on it. No doubt he just got it off. It was so close. Nazir Muhammad against Vanderbilt.
Shammond Williams shoots the technical. Rick Barnes gets the technical foul. Sam Croft teed him up. He's talking to Rick Hartzell. Williams hits the second one. What a big burst that is. 45-37 to end the first half.
Big time. Uncle Mo on their side. 0-43. Will it be 0-44?
That's our story at halftime. Let's go into the studio for our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Chris Fowler and Quinn Buckner.
All right, Mike, Dick, thank you. Started to think about the fact that Clemson, with a big deficit in fouls, big deficit in field goal percentage, was hanging tough, but then that happens at the end of the half.
Yeah, it seemed to be just kind of a bad break for them because I thought Clemson had done a pretty good job keeping it close, but then you go to the end of the half, not only do you give a foul up, but you get a technical, which is 2 shots. Your team has got to be emotionally down. It's important for Rick Barnes to reestablish his team in terms of their mental psyche just prior to getting that technical foul.
You have been commenting on their toughness. It's going to be tested in the second half. Coming up in our Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, full slate in the SEC, plus highlights of the Indiana-Michigan State showdown coming up.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the complete line of 1998 Lincoln automobiles. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
We're at halftime at the Dean Smith Center, 45-37 North Carolina. The Heels got 4 points, the last 4 points of the first half, with no time on the clock. The first time these teams met at Clemson, Greg Buckner had 30 points. Tonight in the first half, 12 points, 5 rebounds, doing everything he can.
Well, you know, Mike, he kept him in the game with his ability to post up on the inside. As we take a look at his versatility, posting the guard, he recognizes Shammond Williams checking him, and he's got a mismatch. He's going to go down into the post area as we watch him right here, number 21. He slides down into the low post, and now he gets good position inside. See, right here, he seals well. He recognizes he's got the great size. He's going to utilize the drop step. He gets the inside position and the conversion. Had 12 big points to keep them in the game.
12 points, 5 rebounds, hit 5 of 7 shots. He and Ikera Turbe had a dozen in the first half.
I'll tell you, that was big at the end of the half. As you said, Mike, they were right in the game, and they gave Carolina that spurt.
Jamison down low, blocked by Jai. Loose ball, McIntyre, and he is fouled by Carter.
You know, what would you think about the fact Carolina up 8 and Jamison is 0 for 3. You would not believe that he would be 0 for 3. And look at Coda right here with 3 in terms of looking at leaders here, really struggling. 3 assists for Coda. He was 0, 0, and 0. Didn't take a shot in the first half, Coda.
Last foul, by the way, was on Carter. His third, so Carter and Jamison both have 3.
Jamison 0 for 3, but had 5 points on a free throw line.
Shammond Williams cut off.
Guys like Scotty May and Indiana, they did that. Wow, what a high riser.
Biggest lead of the game for the Heels.
I'll tell you, that's a momentum builder. Right there, you got to take that away from Carolina because that gets the crowd involved.
McIntyre trying to get it out. Okulaja, last touch by Clemson as Buckner got a hand on it.
He's the most explosive dunker in the game. There he is with the great lift. Look at him, Jam City, baby. He's up, and away.
He goes over the rim and he just hangs there till he wants to slam it down.
Ooh, he can rise, Mike. He's got your kind of leaping ability.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get over the telephone book.
I waited flat-footed for the ball to come down.
As that ball movement in North Carolina trying to run that motion game.
The Turbe got a hand on it, and it's out of bounds to Clemson. Good defense by Ikera Turbe.
And Jamison down hard again. What an unbelievable beating he takes.
Well, when he falls, he lands flat.
Ben Guthridge said we played so brilliantly against Florida State that we could always play like that. They made 20 of their first 24 shots and won 103 to 55, and that's not Cupcake City, Florida State.
Well, that's asking for a lot, even from a coach.
Wow.
McIntyre tried to fake the 3 and get the pass inside to Weidman. Kicked out of bounds.
You got to be so careful against North Carolina of that great spurt they have. If they go on one of those 10-1 runs, they're up 10, they just blow the game away and apply the knockout punch. But I don't think that they're going to be able to knock this club out. I really don't. I think this club is too tough mentally and physically.
Harold Jamison back in for Weidman.
The zone, got to step in the gap now. Find the seam of that zone. Slide to the foul line. It's wide open in the foul line area. Step right to the foul line. That's it. Utilize it as a passer.
Christie, shot clock down to 4.
Oh, Ademola.
They try the long-range 3. Carter with a rebound.
Ademola inside is a great passer from that high post area.
Williams had it knocked away, retrieves.
I can't remember watching a game where Jamison hasn't had a field goal going into the second half.
And yet they're up by 10.
Against a good team.
McIntyre Jai trying to back in. And a little ticky foul on Jamison. It'll be his 3rd.
Rick Barnes did a heck of a job down at Providence before coming down to Clemson, where he seems to have found a home. They love him down here, and I can see why. Has such a passion and love for the game. Does a solid job recruiting. And I only wish I had half of his looks. Oh, is he so good looking.
McIntyre Jai fouled by Turbe. That's 3 on Ikera Turbe.
So tough to get any rhythm offensively with all that contact and all those fouls. Hey, Mike, you got a kick on this. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Someone called for a newspaper. They're doing, I guess, a number of guys picking an all-ACC team of all time. 70s, 80s, and 90s. Wow.
I don't want any part of that. Too many good players to pick 5.
I had to do it, though, Mike. Just have a little fun. And I picked my 5, and you can disagree with it.
Shaman Williams scored 3.
I'll tell you, he can shoot the rock. There's a kid that's made himself a quality big-time player. MVP in the ACC tournament. MVP in a regional last year. And out of high school, was not even heavily recruited.
Shaman Williams has 15 points. The lead is 13, biggest of the night.
You know what? He's from also South Carolina. Rick Boyne says, I know one thing. I would have liked to recruit him. Out of Greenville.
Iturbe tries to go baseball. Jamison got it back. And jams it this time.
Where's he been? Where's he been?
I don't know.
Look at that body. He had 11 offensive rebounds against South Carolina. Same thing happened against Duke. He was nowhere to be found in the first half. In the second half, Jamison was sensational.
Shaman Williams with a long 3. He has 18.
NBN, nothing but nylon. Trifecta time. Tickle the twine. He can shoot the rock. Mr. Williams.
53-39.
They can hurt you in a lot of ways.
Iturbe, fall-away jumper. Carter cleans the glass.
Uh-oh.
McIntyre nearly got the steal. Carter down the lane. Blocking foul will be called on Iturbe. That's his 4th. 4 other Clemson players have 3.
Shaman Williams, take a look right here. He shoots the long-range trifecta. That was from Durham, baby. That was down at Cameron Indoor Stadium. He let it go. The second time, it's splash. It's splish, splash. Nothing but net. He's one of the underrated players in America. You won't see his name in a lot of super all-star teams, all-American teams. But he's a pretty good guy to have as maybe as your third guy in that lineup when you look at Carter and Jamison.
5th all-time in 3-point shooting in North Carolina. The Heels as a team, 3 out of 6 tonight. Okulaja with a left hand, and they're just killing Clemson right now.
Great spacing created that opportunity in their half-court set.
Okulaja has 11. It's 55-39.
So quickly they blow it open.
Witt down the lane. He's fouled before the shot.
What they did in that last possession, they really spread out, and they got a nice one-on-one for Okulaja.
Foul on Vince Carter. That is 4 on the junior from Daytona Beach.
Mike, take a look right now at the great spacing they have. See what I mean by spacing? You can't give help. Look at that right there, triangle 15 feet apart. Writes the sequence down. I'm going to run here a post move right here inside. Freeze it. See, right here. Look at it. Everybody steps away, and they get an isolation in here for Ademola to go to the lane. See, there he is inside. Ademola, Okulaja, 4 guys spread the defense, and they put him in a one-on-one maneuver.
55-39 with 15:53 to go. Clemson has never come closer to beating North Carolina than 5 points here in Chapel Hill.
Look at the second half. 100%.
100% pretty
wow,
good.
That's A+. I know you used to get a lot of A+'s, and I'm sure. I know Mr. Buckner was a great student in Indiana. Mr. Fowler down in Colorado. Myself, I was Mr. C. I used to get the cat and be happy. I was mediocre. That's all I was in life. Mediocrity at best.
Coda all over Christie, making the pass tough.
Hunter in his zone.
McIntyre goes by Coda, then missed the shot.
See, the zone allows them to get a little bit of a rest, too. Remember, only playing 6 people. You got to keep people rested.
Carter on the bench after that 4th foul. Okulaja, offensive foul. That's 1 on Ademola. One of the premier motorsports events in the world coming up on ESPN2. The Rolex 24 Endurance Race. Only one of 2 of its kind kicks off Daytona's famous Speed Weeks. Qualifying begins tomorrow on ESPN2 at 3 Eastern. I used to cover the 24 hours of Daytona. Just a fascinating event.
Wow. You talk about fascinating. What about Tennessee women's basketball? That's fascinating with Job Pat
Well, it's not really fascinating because they win all the time.
Shaman ahead of the pack.
Williams short. Jamison with a follow, and he's fouled.
And he's down,
down again.
I mean, he hits the deck more than anybody I've seen in college basketball. Hey, Mike, I'm going to lay it on you. I know you and I were talking during a break. They asked me to pick my all-ACC team of all time. I said for the 70s, 80s, and 90s, so it eliminates guys like Billy Cunningham and Art Heyman. But here's my five. Bill Ford at North Carolina, who's sitting on a sideline. Grant Hill, who I loved up at Duke. A fair player by the name of Mr. Jordan from North Carolina. Ralph Sampson and Mr. David Thompson. My second team, I went with guys like, you ready? John Lucas, Lenny Bias, guys like you gotta love, certainly James Worthy. You got to think about him. And there's so many other guys you could think about. Tim Duncan I had on my second club as well.
How about Charlie Scott?
Charlie Scott I had on my third team, along with Danny Ferry, Elmore, Johnny Dawkins. I mean, it's unbelievable. Great
Mark
players.
Price.
They had so many superstars.
Dan Bonner. Can't leave Dan off.
We'll put everybody who works on the ESPN. We'll put Jay Billis on there, too.
Yes, sir. All our guys on. Another steal. Cota on the run. That one's tipped and taken away. One of the rare turnovers that Cota will make.
Yeah, bad play right there. We still haven't seen a score from the field yet by Antoine Jameson.
Clemson needs something on offense here. Christie, nice move. And a little pull-up jumper. Christie with 5.
He's been one positive for them this season. A kid that really struggled, had some injuries.
Shamon Williams, tough fall away, taken away by Witt. 1 on 4. Not a good decision by Witt, but they'll bail him out with the foul as Okulaja blocked the shot. Witt needed to wait for help.
Got a lucky break there getting that call. You know, I was talking to Timmy Beret today, to find SID from down there at Clemson, went to Notre Dame. He told me he sees a lot of similarities in his team, in their 79-80 team that went to the Final 8 under Bill Foster. He said they were 1-6 on the road in the ACC, but went 23-9 and were led by Larry Nance in that club. And he said, I see a lot of same similarities, a lot of tough losses on the road.
Witt's out of Greensboro. He was considered the best prospect in the state as a high school senior.
There's the little guy, McIntyre. It's so unfortunate for them that he's had that injury to that foot all year long. He's such a fierce competitor, so tough mentally.
Witt missed them both.
They had an expert come in and do a physical conditioning evaluation. He said that he could play 60 minutes, Mike. That's what kind of shape he's in.
Kicked out of bounds by Okulaja, and really that's what he got in the first game when they lost to Clemson 73-7. He played exactly 16 minutes, and he's the kind of kid you want on the floor for 38.
Oh yeah, they said he has a lung capacity that's unbelievable. He can play all night long. With Jameson, as strong as he is, they came in and they said he's got the smallest set of lungs. It's a little tired. See, it's getting so sophisticated now,
isn't it? 56-41, 13:40 to go in the game. Buckner.
There's that little curl move, Buckner. Don't forget now, we're not just trying to say this, but they were down 24 against Duke. Came back and had the ball with 3 seconds to go.
Got 2 shots, had a chance to win.
Yeah, Turbe had it. They had Duke reeling and on the ropes like a fighter who was just absolutely begging and pleading for that clock to come to an end.
Holding call inside of Muhammad Woody. That's his 4th, and Rick Barnes is watching a very deep team getting a lot of foul trouble. They've been called for 26 personal fouls. The team record is 43 back in 1951. Wow. Stolen by McIntyre. Heck of a play.
I was 12 years old then, Mike. I was 12 years old pitching in the Little League.
Miller for 3. Tipped out, saved by Weidman.
Nice look.
Buckner. Wouldn't go. Jameson, offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Got to take it right up strong. He's such a physical strength. Look at that body he has. He's got great pins. There's McIntyre now going to step right in the passing lane, makes like a defensive back, and has the agility to get it back on the floor. And there's the rebound by Jameson. He was a great tight end in high school.
Dick, they've done a terrific job on the offensive boards tonight, but it really hasn't helped them that much. They haven't gotten a lot of easy buckets out of it.
No, they haven't been able to convert off that situation. As Jameson now trying to improve on that free throw line, an area that's really been a tough situation for him. Allensbach comes back in, had a good first half.
Brad Frederick will come in as Bill Guthrie's getting as much out of his bench as he can, trying to rest some of his starters.
You know, everybody's looking forward, hoping it's number 1 against number 2 here next Thursday. But I'll tell you one thing, Duke's got a tough one tomorrow with Maryland. And, you know, you never know going on a road. Carolina's got to go on a road to play Wake Forest. And we'll be doing that game Saturday on ABC down there. And I'll tell you something about Davey Odom. He's getting some wins right now. He beat Missouri the other day, beat Virginia last night. Doing a great job, the guy with 4 freshmen. Look at that job defensively. They're really keeping the ball away from Jameson.
They're within 12 points with 13:06 to go in the game.
Mentioned number 1 and number 2. Carolina and Duke were number 1 and number 2 in 1994 when they played. Duke was number 1 and Carolina got that win right here in Chapel Hill.
Knocked out of bounds by Clemson out to the heel.
And you and I did the game when they were number 1 in the nation. Duke and Carolina beat them with Eric Montross. They had all that blood on them. Remember that? 92. 92.
I think I've done at least one Duke North Carolina game for 16, 17 years. It's just unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. You got paid for that? That's unbelievable. You're a lucky guy. Throw it into the... See, now you should have thrown the lob to him.
McIntyre, another steal, and then he throws it down court. Coda has it.
Dunk it.
Back to
Dunk it.
Jameson.
Hello. There's his first deuce of the night. There's his first deuce of the night. Antoine Jameson, all Rolls-Royce, solid goal.
Jameson, 8 points overall, a 20-second timeout. Called by Rick Barnes. He wants to talk to McIntyre. Even though he made the great steal, he's not thrilled with the pass he made down court.
I'll tell you, Mike, before it's all said and done, I'll bet you Jameson will end up with about 17-18 tonight. He's been getting whipped physically all night long, taking a beating, taking a pounding. Look at him go to the deck. Oh, look how painful that is. Now watch it right here. And he goes it down. Oh, you got to feel for him, Mike. You got to feel for him. Wow. And there he is with a little Jam City, my choice, midseason player of the year.
6 points from the free throw line, 1 field goal for Antoine Jameson.
Look at, they got the big guy out here trapping. Haywood, wow, 7-footer.
Haywood and Frederick. Buckner goes baseline. Haywood with a block. Save, toss back in, and then Buckner commits the foul.
See, I think on a Brendan Haywood, you can get 12 to 14 minutes a night. I mean, that's the only way he's going to learn in game competition. I know Bill Guthridge's philosophy, unless you show it to me in practice, I can't put you on the floor. It's so beautiful to see a guy so calm, cool, and collected, the 3C man, so relaxed and poised, doing such a superb job.
It's tough to give a guy 14 minutes a night in this kind of competition, though, Dick, when you can't count on him yet.
I feel if you can steal maybe 6-7 minutes each half to rest people, I don't think he can hurt you that much in that game. There's Jameson matching up against Jameson. We got 2 Jamesons going, no relation.
Jameson has it, held by Jameson. That will be his 4th.
Look at the Jamesons against the Jameson. He wants to be the Velcro man. Look, he wants to get right in his chest. He wants to stick to him like glue. He wants to be the Velcro man. Look at Jameson. Harrell against Antoine.
Frederick goes out, and Shammond Williams is back in, and there's the Clemson foul trouble. I mean, they are a deep team, but nobody's this deep because there's still 12 minutes to go in the game.
Well, their philosophy was to come out and say we're not going to give them any easy shots.
Antoine Jameson hits the free throw. He's 7 out of 10 from the stripe tonight.
One of the great stories last year was Jameson and Rafe LaFrance and Paul Pierce, all those kids deciding to say, I'm coming back. And look at those guys like Duncan and Van Horn. They went 4 years to college. It hasn't hurt them in the NBA. They still got zillions.
Not hardly.
And Derek Anderson, Brevin Knight. It's so great to see the 4-year players doing well.
Buckner off a screen, can't hit it.
Got to make those when you're behind. You got to make those.
Clemson in danger of being too far down. It's not really a comeback kind of team, although they did it against Duke. They don't make enough threes.
They were also down 11, though, against Maryland and came back and won in overtime at home. But they did make the threes that night. That was Miller knocked down 3 in a row.
Clear out for Cota. He missed the shot. And a foul on the Tigers inside as they went for the rebound. And it looks like Weidman, that'll be 4 on him. At this rate, Rick Barnes may have to suit up himself.
I mean, he and his coaching staff, what they were doing today at practice, they were playing on a defensive end. Haywood did a good job tonight. They had to appreciate his effort tonight. Gave him some good minutes. I got a great trivia question for people out there. Think about it. Who did Rick Barnes replace at Providence? See, our producer yelled in my ear. He said Rick Pitino. Wrong. Gordy Chiesa, 1 year, coaching with Utah. The Jazz is an assistant.
Christie for three. Weidman tries to keep it alive and does to McIntyre.
Nice look right there. Got to catch that. Nice feel.
Weidman got it to Allensbach, and Allensbach, who has been very impressive, got his 6 point.
I know you like Bartisech. Don't you like it?
Oh, terrific.
Got to like Allensbach's potential.
Weidman and Buckner both got a piece of that. It's going to be on Weidman, I believe, and he's gone.
This is a tough game to officiate. Very tough game, in fairness to our 3 guys out there tonight. Sam Croft and also Hartzell, Wood. Tough game. I said Wood, I meant Gordon. Look at that wacko there with that hairdo. Look at that wacko. We're going to see all kinds of wackos in the stands here come Thursday night when the Dukies arrive. Up the road, Tobacco Road, 8 miles down the road.
30 personal fouls called against Clemson tonight. 30.
1,400 on the SATs. Look at this guy right here. 1,400 on the SATs.
That may have been one that slipped through the net, I'm telling you. Okulaja misses the first free throw. Still only a 14-point game.
Ademola came out of Germany. Played with Hendrik Rodel out there. Discovered by Rodel, former North Carolina player.
McIntyre pushing it, will take the jumper and hit it. That's a 2-pointer, cuts it to 12.
Well, McIntyre's got a heart as big as the state.
That's his first 2 points, though, tonight, Dick.
Yes, it is. He has struggled physically. That foot has really bothered him.
No basket, the foul on Allensbach before the shot. That's 4 on him. Clemson has played everybody on its bench, and it seems like everybody has 4 or 5, and only a couple of guys left with 3.
And you talk about great starts by North Carolina. I mean, in 95, they go 16-1 out of the gate, and they go to the Final Four. In 93, they come out 16-1. They win the NCAA title. I mean, it's unbelievable the starts they've had. In fact, when Bill Guthridge won his 20th the other day, that's 28 consecutive years of winning 20 games or more.
Isn't that remarkable?
28 consecutive years. Congratulations also to Dean Smith for the great award, the Arthur Ashe Award. He will be the recipient at the ESPY Awards.
10:21 to go in the game, back to 14. 62-48, Carolina over Clemson, 10:21 to go in the ball game. Of course, Tobacco Road has not been too good to many teams, but for Clemson, it's been death on wheels. 4-47 at Duke, 0-43 at Carolina, only slightly more success at North Carolina State, still a miserable 8-40, but Rick Barnes has certainly improved the percentage there. He is 3-7.
Tough places to play, though. People have to understand, not too many people step into those buildings and get W's against those teams. Usually such quality programs.
And Rick Barnes really hasn't had all that time to build his program at Clemson. This is only his 4th year. He had them finished 8th at the end of last year, the highest they have ever finished at the end of the season.
He's got most of these people back next year as well. Loses Buckner and everybody else is back.
Antoine Jamison committed that foul. That's his 4th. Rick Barnes and the referees have had a constant dialogue throughout this game.
Well, he had a technical against Duke as well. One thing, he's a fighter for his kids. I mean, he'll stand up and fight. There's no doubt about it. It's been documented throughout his career.
Buckner got loose on the baseline. Little double clutch and scores.
Well, Buckner looks like he turned his ankle. Nice movement right there to get him the basketball.
16 points for Buckner. Again, only a 12-point lead.
You know, with 7 losses right now, you lose here, you have 8 losses, you start to put yourself in a point where every game becomes a must in terms of just getting enough wins to get an NCAA bid, which I'm sure they'll get, but it's really not going to be as easy as people think. I know they played a quality schedule and have some good wins.
The ball goes over the backboard, and it's out to Clemson. Well, when you consider Duke and Carolina are 1 and 2, you lose to each of them twice. That's 4 defeats.
It's right out of the bank. they're going to go away here, Mike. I really don't. I think they're still going to go on a little run here and make this interesting.
They fight. Christie saved that one.
That's half the battle. When you're a scrapper and you claw and you fight, you got some ability, you always have a chance. And they do have some ability. They're going to try to double him up to get the ball out of his hands.
Nice move by McIntyre to get free.
You got to swing it to the other side, though, away from the double team.
Christie missed the three. Muhammad Wooni pushes off underneath.
That's 5.
He's gone.
He's gone. See, what you want to do against the double team, you don't want to bring it to the same side to where the defense is rotated. You want to get it away diagonally to the offside.
Wooni and Weidman have both fouled out of the game. Iturbe has 4. Jamison has 4. Allensbach has 4. Everybody else has 3. Amazing.
As Mac on the line, started off at Wake Forest, was a roommate of Tim Duncan. Then was ruled he couldn't play there, went to Michigan, didn't really feel comfortable there, and is really comfortable here.
If I remember correctly, he was really a bigger recruit than Tim Duncan was.
Yeah, he was a big-time star. Well, Duncan and David Robinson, very similar in that they both arrived on a campus as not big-time recruits, and then ultimately were recipients of the Naismith Award as Player of the Year. I mean, that just tells you that. Forget about all those accolades.
And rather ironic that they end up together.
What a great combination. 2 beautiful guys. We hear people talk about the perception of some pro athletes, and then you look at Duncan and you look at Robinson, just quality people on and off the court.
64-50. McIntyre, they'd love to get him on track from outside. He's got a great three-point eye.
Can't get a good look at it. Either is Christie, who's shooting 50%. Can't get some looks from 3.
Iturbe walks.
Tough to come back when you're turning the ball over.
Coming up next, Sports Center. Kenny Mayne, Carl Ravitch standing by. They'll take a look at the Knicks against the Heat. The Boston buzzer beater. Ooh. And a battle in the Big Ten.
I'll tell Rick Pitino what clubs he put together down in Kentucky. He had 5 NBA first-rounders in his club that won the national title in '96.
He could use them now.
I tell you, that's why Tubby Smith to me is doing such a great job. They don't have that kind of personnel. I'll be down here for a Florida-Kentucky game on Sunday.
Cota got it to McTarjai. Pretty little jump hook.
He's improved in the lane, Mike. He's given them some offensive scoring last year that was non-existent from McTar. He has really improved.
6 assists for Cota, the ACC leader. And a 16-point bulge for the #2 team in the nation.
He'll break every record probably in the ACC in terms of assists. 3 games, 41 assists his last 3.
Buckner,
love him.
Nice shot. McTarjai will get the foul. That's his 4th. He's hurt. And Buckner limping again.
I thought he hurt his ankle on a previous score that he had on a baseline.
Oh, he's got a cramp. They're pressing the foot up from the toes.
Here he is now going to get in the lane against Okulaja. He's going to go right over the top foot. Oscar Robertson used to always say that the great O, one of the greatest offensive players of all time. He said, whatever foot you put up as a lead foot, I will attack that foot because now you have to make a reverse move defensively to play me.
Buckner in a lot of pain, and it is a cramp, fortunately for them. Although trying to explain that to Buckner right now that he's lucky isn't going to work. That hurts. The lead is 14, and Buckner will go to the free throw line. He drew the personal foul there. 18 points, 5 boards. He shot 67% from the floor.
I'll tell you one thing I love about him, too. He's not intimidated by anyone. North Carolina, you talk about their great execution. Here he is sliding off the floor.
They're going to have to work on that on the sideline, and Miller will go to the free throw line. Clemson has hit only 8 out of 12. North Carolina, 25 of 42.
Wow. You know, when
42 free throw.
Unbelievable. When you look at Johnny Miller stepping on a free throw line and you look at his stats coming over from Temple, you would have thought, like you said earlier, a big-time three-point shooter. I know Barry Jacobson does a phenomenal job with his ACC report. Publicizes that. Physically.
66-53. North Carolina over Clemson. 7:42 to go in the ballgame. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, our entire ESPN crew with you from the Smith Center Buckner looks like he's all right. He's gone down a couple of times with cramps. Here are the leading scorers. Buckner holding his own and more, 18 points above his season's average. But they're in trouble when Terrell McIntyre doesn't get in double figures. Jamison had 2 below his average, and Christie about 2.5 below his.
Well, you know, Terrell only with a deuce right there. As you look at Buckner, had that cramp, went to the sideline. You know, when I was telling you earlier about my ACC second club, I lined up that team with Duncan, Lucas, Bias, and I forgot to mention this name to you, Tom McMillan, along with Mr. James Worthy. Not a bad player, Mr. McMillan, former congressman.
Nearly a steal by Miller. You can go about to your 6th team in the ACC. And all you hit are guys that were All-Americans, first team. Shammond Williams missed the shot. Okulaja tried to keep it alive. Down on the floor with Allen Speck, kicks it to Dakota. Nice job by Okulaja.
Oh, nice.
Shammond Williams to Jamison.
Oh, so quick. He's got that such a quick rise from the deck. And what a nice pass on the inside. Great ball movement.
Jamison with 14.
14. I told you 17, 18. I may be low.
He'll get there somehow, won't he? Out of the corner, Christie for 3, way short. Turbe, what a tip!
Great tip right there by Turbe, who had a strong first half, had a dozen. Now watch this possession right. Look at Shammond now. He's going to get right into the heart of the defense, and there's the little left-hand drop bounce pass to a guy that knows how to complete the play. Antoine Jamison, awesome on far.
Well, Antoine Jamison had just fouled out of the ball game.
And he gets a hug from his buddy Carter. He said, I got to rest right now. I'm physically beat. I've earned my scholarship. He's shaking his head.
So of the 6 guys that get all the minutes, 1 is gone, and Vince Carter, who has 4 fouls, is back in.
Sitting next to one of my favorite point guards of all time, Phil Ford. And we got one of my favorites in the studio, and Quinn Buckner, who really knew and understood the role of a point guard. Buckner and Ford had great IQs as point guards.
Heat Turbe with 15 points. Clemson once again closes within 12. But they just can't seem to make that run to get them real close.
They don't go on that spurt because, as you said earlier, and you're 100% right, unless McIntyre starts knocking some shots down, they struggle offensively.
They need his 3.
And there it is.
Pass. McIntyre ahead of Williams. It's a 10-point game.
Got it down to 10. They just don't go away. And remember this now, Jamison is out of the game.
Their go-to guy is sitting on the bench.
Well, now the go-to guy has to be Carter.
Thrown out of bounds, and Shammond Williams is going to say, wait a minute, ref, that pass was tipped. And the officials confirmed and said, right you are. It's a good job of officiating.
Yeah, uniting together, making the call in unison.
You know, that never used to happen. No. One guy would make the call, and that's the way it stood.
Oh, what a nice penetration move by Coda.
Carter just rolled off. Haywood follows, and he's fouled.
Well, not a bad foul. Going to make the big guy now go to the free throw line and have to make it from the line.
Foul was on Turbe. He is gone. The 3rd Clemson player to foul out of the ball game.
Next 3 minutes are vital. The next 3 minutes are crucial. I mean, crucial to Clemson. They have to have a spurt. If they don't get a spurt in the next 3, it's a knockout. It's over. 15 big ones from Turbe. Did a solid job. 7 rebounds. Played well tonight.
We talk about their depth, but Dick, they only have 7 players left.
I know. It's amazing.
Haywood misses the first. He'll get another. It's a 10-point lead with 6:03 to go.
Not a bad foul, as I said, putting him on a free throw line, making him have to make him the big fella.
He's 3 out of 5 from the line tonight. The lead is 11.
He got 1 out of 2 in that sequence. See, now you got to look for some shots out of McIntyre.
Miller for 3. Huge shot for Johnny Miller.
He's capable of knocking it down. They were down 11 against Maryland, Mike, and he knocked down 3 in a row. Johnny Miller can stroke it. He's a streaky shooter.
Now it's an 8-point game.
First time in the single digits in a long time. And now they're in the zone with Christie playing the point of that zone. Similar to what Maryland did. Remember when Maryland went that zone?
Absolutely. Bill Guthridge was really upset with his team. He kept pointing to places on the floor that he wanted them, and he stood up and finally calls a 20-second timeout. And, Dick, this has got to remind you of something you saw earlier this year at Duke.
I'll tell you, when they win also against Maryland, it's reminiscent of Maryland rotating into that zone. But take a look at the Duke game. Brett Musburger and I couldn't believe it. They were down 24. and all of a sudden they came back and they had a shot to win it. And then Aturbey has the second shot. 81-80 they lose, and Duke holds on for the win at home. And look at this, McIntyre had the good look. They were down 24 in the second half.
It's getting a little tight around here. Carter goes up over Allen's back and scores. Vince Carter with 16 points.
Isn't that smart basketball? In the timeout, they go to their go-to guy with Jamison on his sideline, and Carter converts.
Miller wanted the three, couldn't handle the pass.
Christie's capable of shooting it. Shawn Williams matched up right here on McIntyre.
Christie to Miller, hit the last one, short on this one.
Got a good shot there. Shot selection, not a good one. It's okay for him to shoot the three if he's open, but he did not have an open look there.
Or if he's set, he certainly wasn't set. 4:42 and counting from North Carolina, where the Heels are up by 10.
I think it's also interesting is Hayward's starting to get some minutes at quality time now. His confidence should be getting better.
There's the lob. Allen's
there it
back.
is. Hello, they might be fighting another player. They got to give him some QT. And that's a sign of an All-American. He fouls out, but he's cheering. Look at him cheer. Look at him cheer. Look at the hugs on the sideline. Take a look right now. Coming right at you. Hayward pounces on it. The 7-footer takes it up, and he jams, and then he does a little shake, and he does a little fade. Oh, he does a little style.
Now, Allen's back has just fouled out of the ball game. That means Clemson has 6 guys left in uniform.
Wow. You can go right down to 2 players.
Yeah, you got to have 2. Somebody's got to take it out of bounds and give it to the other guy.
Well, the referee can determine whether or not you got a legitimate chance to play and to compete.
Haywood hits another one. Big three-point play, 75-61.
That's impressive that they're getting some quality minutes out of Haywood. A lot of people think he can help them.
Check at 74-61.
He got down to 8, got it to 13 now. Nice moments out of Haywood. They're in the zone.
Butler wants the ball. They can't get it to him.
Makes you take time off the clock in attacking that zone.
Now they get Butler up against Haywood. Blocked, but the foul on Haywood.
Good job getting right into the gut of that defense. Found the hole in that defense and attacked the middle of it. You always want to attack the holes in the defense.
Haywood, 7 feet, 265. Butler could care less. He's 6'4". He's just going to take it to him.
See, now watch. He'll spot him right in the hole in that defense. Gets right into the big hole, takes it up, draws the contact.
Does a great job of using his body to shield the ball and then initiate contact from the defense and get the personal call.
Oh, he was ecstatic last year when they beat Kentucky because he's from Kentucky.
Hopkinsville.
They didn't obviously, they didn't recruit him, and he was on cloud 9 with that big win.
Hits the second one, 74-62. Pressure by the Tigers.
Go to full court trap. Very tough to trap North Carolina. Very tough to trap them.
Okulaja threw it out of bounds, tried to get it to Shawn Williams. Not a good pass there. The 13th turnover for the Heels.
One of the reasons it's very tough to trap them, and the same thing with Duke, is they usually recognize the open man. As soon as you trap the basketball, obviously you leave someone open. And if they had Jamison in that sequence, he would have been the back line of that, and he's usually going to convert that situation.
McIntyre into the lane, scoop shot and hit it.
Sensational move by the little guy. One of the best little guys in basketball. Game this year being really filled with a lot of quality little guys. Shante Rogers at 5'3", Earl Boykins down in Easton, Michigan. Aaron Hutchins playing for Marquette. A lot of good little people in the game.
They'll spread the court. The lead is 10. 3:21 to go.
They're going to spread it and put it in Coda's hands. McIntyre's got to come out and check them. Taking some time off the clock, managing the clock at the end of the game.
They can ill afford to foul anybody. Almost no one out there with fouls to give. Shawn Williams, great drive, got to the baseline, and Haywood goaltending, got it on the rim.
Yeah, good call right there by Rick Hartzell.
3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Clemson trying to break an 0-43 streak.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change.
74-64. The Heels over the Tigers. 3:03 to go in the ball game from the Smith Center. Here's the reset. Clemson with 13 team fouls in this half. They had 21 team fouls in the first half, and they've had 4 guys foul out of the game.
I don't think you have to worry about getting to the bonus too quickly against Clemson.
Exactly. McIntyre, he's fouled and he hit the bucket.
You wanted a 3-point play. You got one right there, the old-fashioned way by the little guy, Terrell McIntyre.
Terrell McIntyre is just so tough and has so much guts. He will not quit.
He's got great basketball savvy. Look at him taking the ball right into traffic, spinning, whirling. Just a whirlish, Durham, shake and bake kind of guy.
First foul on Shammond Williams. McIntyre hits the 3. The lead is cut to 7.
It was just 13 a minute ago.
They will not go away.
I said that earlier, Mike. They're so tenacious. They just keep scrapping and clawing. They just got to go on a spurt sometime this year, winning 4 or 5 in a row and get some of that confidence. They've been unable to do that.
Buckner called for a hold. That'll be his 4th.
And so many tough losses. After a while, that wears on you. I mean, wears on you. Hey, down at Clemson, they've had some great players when you think about Horace Grant and Mr. Campbell, Eldon Campbell, and Sharon Wright, guys like Dale Davis.
Carter has hit only 1 of 7, now 2 of 8.
The reason I mentioned it, Mike, they started in 1934, a club called Ipte. I pay $10 a year to the athletic club. It's run by George Bennett right now. George would like to get some of the $50 million of Mr. Grant, the $49 million of Campbell, and some of the $42 million of Davis.
29 of 47 from the line for North Carolina. Yes, you heard that right.
Nice pass.
Great pass from McIntyre to Jamison. It's a 7-point game again, and Clemson to stop the clock with 2:33 left.
Plenty of time on that clock. Plenty of time. Great backdoor cut. McIntyre with the great look. Great backdoor cut. He catches the defensive player. McIntyre staring at the ball. And Jamison, who we've seen only limited spark out of him. I mean, a guy with a great physical body. He was under the weather, though, a little bit today, in fairness to him at practice. The trainer was working on him. Really an excellent backdoor cut. Just made an excellent backdoor move.
2:33 to go.
Full court pressure. Got a turnover last time. Posted to the middle. Look at opposite. He's got Shammond.
Back 2-on-1, and Okulaja makes the good decision. They don't need points. They just need to work time on the clock.
Yep, time is there. Right now, Fred, they want to run that clock down. Actually, time is their ally.
Miller on Williams. Shot clock at
that's
13. And Miller will pick up the foul. That's his 4th.
The reason I say time is their friend right now, when you're up 7 basically, and you got 2 ticks on a clock, 2 minutes and change, basically you just are in great shape unless you find a way to lose it because you don't make free throws. There's Clemson on a free throw line. Not bad tonight. Normally a 60% shooting team in Carolina, much better than usually 62%.
6 out of 8 for Shammond Williams, who usually doesn't miss any at all. 7 out of 9 right now for Williams. The lead back to 8 points. Sports Center coming up when we're done here.
See, the bottom line is when you got a guy like Williams and he has the ball in his hands late in the game, I mean, that's such a plus for North Carolina. The same with Duke, with Langdon. Those guys just are automatic on the line at clutch time.
Miller. Nice drive, got by McIntyre and scored the quick deuce.
You watch Johnny Miller and you could see his ability to score. He has flat-out ability to score. He's had so many injuries throughout his career.
Trying to trap, but Carolina's so good at moving the basketball. And the foul on McIntyre, that's only his 3rd. McIntyre actually the only guy on the court who can afford to give any fouls.
It's going to come right down to one old theme again in college basketball. If they convert on a free throw line, they walk into the locker room with a W. If they don't convert, they make it interesting and exciting down the stretch.
Cota, an 80% free throw shooter. He's really gotten better at the line.
I think he's got to look for his shot a little bit more during the course of a game. He's a pretty good shooter, and the bottom line is I think he's so concerned now with just making the pass that he doesn't become a threat to shoot the basketball. I mean, he didn't have a shot in the first half.
Well, he's so good penetrating. If the pass isn't there, he can hit the shot.
He can. That's why I'm saying he's got to look to shoot a little bit more.
Clemson cannot afford to trade baskets.
Can't afford to come up empty with every possession. They need points.
Miller will try another three. Way off on that one. Okulaja with a rebound, and he's fouled.
You can light up the bus now. The guys ran out. I just saw him sprint down the hallway. The bus driver's ready to turn it on and get the bus ready because this one is now going to become academic. 37 out of 39, Mr. Patrick. 37 out of 39 for North Carolina after they post this W. Unbelievable.
That will be the 5th foul on Butner. Witt will come back into the ball game. So Iturbe fouled out, Weidman fouled out, Butner fouled out, Jamison fouled out, and Wooney fouled out. Well, we got 5 guys left. That's it.
We got some guys though in our studio. We're going to ship in here who can play. We'll put Fowler and Buckner out there. They can go out and play.
The numbers on Buckner: 38 personal fouls called against Clemson tonight. And you can bet the Clemson media will have something to say about that one.
Look at the banners flying high here. The question is, will they have another banner? Remember this. We talked about superstition. 91, 93, 95, and 97. They went to the Final Four. Always in the odd year. We're in 98, Mr. Patrick. Will it happen again?
Well, they may break that little record. 82-71. McIntyre pull-up jumper. Won't go for it. Carter with a rebound.
Spread the floor, use the time, bring it out, don't need points, bring it out, take some time off the clock. Smart, good basketball savvy.
Shammond Williams down the lane, dumps it off. Okulaja pushed and fouled. Is it on Jamison? It is. He's gone.
There's Mr. Guthridge on that sideline. He's got Wake Forest coming up on ABC. And then it's Duke, baby, on the Deuce. You better get the Deuce. If you don't have ESPN the Deuce, you can't see it. Hey, you better call your cable operator up, and you better get the Deuce.
Dick, I have never seen this in a major college game. Jamison is gone. The Clemson Tigers have four players left.
4 left. Look at Forrest. I want me to dress up. Forrest, I'm going to go dress up. He's having a nice conversation, a friendly one right there.
They have fouled 6 players out of the game. They've got 4 left.
Looking at Steve Porter with his little smile on his face, a little smirk as he.
Well, in hockey, that's a double power play or something? Yeah. 2-man advantage?
I don't know about hockey. We don't get
one man right now.
Call John Saunders up. I don't know about hockey. I don't know about blue lines, red lines, green lines.
Well, it's a 1-man advantage right now, but they can lose another player, and they would have to play 5 against 3 for the last minute 10.
Wow.
That's just amazing.
Well, you can see it coming, though, with all the contact. There he goes off now.
Now, Dick, here's a situation where you don't practice. You got 4 guys.
4 guys. That's the first time I've seen in 19 years. 19 years of doing the games that I've seen a team get down to less than 5 on the floor. Hey, look at this right here. They only got 4. Unbelievable. They got 4 guys.
39 personal fouls called against the Clemson Tigers, and 6 players fouled out.
What's going on?
And Rick Barnes having some fun with the crowd now.
Rick wants to come out and play. He wants to be the 5th guy. Come on, Rick. Come out there, baby. Yeah, the 4 guys. Look, take the jacket off. Come on, Rick. I saw him shoot today. I hope he doesn't teach shooting. I saw him shoot. I hope he doesn't teach shooting. I'm only kidding.
5 out of 5 from the line from Okulaja tonight. And this will be the 44th consecutive defeat that Clemson has endured in Chapel Hill.
How many?
44. They have never won here.
44 in a row. Wow. Look at Rick. Look at Rick. Come on, take it off, Rick. Come on, Rick. Look at the smile. Come on, yeah. Come on, Rick. Take the tie off. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. Get out there, Rick. Get out there. Come on. Come on, look, they're all egging him on. Come on out there. We can use some help.
Give him a jersey with a C on it and let him go.
Let him earn those mega dollars. He signed that new big-time contract. I'm out of game really like in college basketball.
No.
That's contact. You can't get any rhythm or any flow in the game.
North Carolina has taken 55 free throws tonight. They've made 37. That's just stunning.
I wonder if Kenny Manning and Carl Roberts are working on their free throws out in the studio, getting ready for Sports Center.
Well, they've had the time.
They could drill the jumper.
McIntyre against Cota. McIntyre hits the deuce.
He woke up too late, though, Mike. His offense came too late. Carolina
5 against 4.
They march on and get ready to head to Wake Forest, and then it's the showdown.
Johnny Miller can't foul. He's got 4. McIntyre's only got 3. He can go out and get him once.
They're just going to let it run out now. Just let it run out. Just let it run out.
The frustration continues for the Clemson Tigers, and North Carolina will go to 21-1, marching inexorably toward that February 5th date with number 1 Duke.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike, that's the next time I'll see you, baby. We'll be here for that, baby. Wojo versus Cota.
McIntyre hits the 3 to make it 84-76. The little guy will not quit with 16.6 seconds to go.
4 against 5. I remember a time when Billy Packer, who I have such great respect for, was talking about the game should be 4 against 4.
Only 16.6 seconds to go. North Carolina leading Clemson by 8. It will be Heels basketball when the clock restarts.
5 against 4. You've seen it right. 5 against 4. Jameson sitting on the sideline. Antoine fouled out of the game. Look at Vince Carter, sensational leaper. Had a monster dunk in the second half.
Clemson with only 4 players left.
Yeah, Coach Barnes almost came on the floor. He's going to dress up.
Check it. If that's on Johnny Miller and they pointed at Miller.
There's 3. They're down to 3.
That'll be his 5th. Oh, it's on McIntyre. 40 personal fouls. That ties the school record set in 1956.
Wow, 56. Why can't it be back in the 50s? Graduated high school in 58 from East Rutherford High School in New Jersey, where they don't claim me at all, Mike. I had my little red and white convertible in those days. You love my little Ford convertible?
Were very fortunate.
I had a thick crop of hair, aspiring to be a lawyer.
I bet you had a strand that you combed over.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was one of those guys.
McIntyre hits another 3.
I mean, McIntyre's doing all he can. I mean, the kid has been sensational here in the last 10 minutes.
He has all of his 17 points here in the second half. Now, I can remember years and years ago, Dick, I saw a high school game where they only had 4 guys to finish. I have never seen a major college basketball game.
On a collegiate level, I haven't seen it either in my years of doing games here. And I done the very first game on ESPN. I can't believe that in 1979. Wisconsin and DePaul, Mark McGuire and company. Since then, you and I have done loads of games.
Done a ton, haven't we?
Wow. I've been blessed to work with such great guys like yourself, Jim Simpson, and John Saunders, certainly Brad Nessler. And I'm a lucky guy, Mike. I'm a lucky guy.
Well, Brent Musburger and I usually share you during the season. We both carry the burden equally.
Brent told me he's going to be relaxing over in Jupiter, Florida all week long. He said, I'll meet you down there. I got a stretch coming up, 7 events in 8 days. Pretty busy. And that's the ESPYs also included in there. But I wouldn't have
a couple of those days. It's just going to the mailbox to get the checks. I know you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I love it. I just absolutely am very thrilled to be part of this, and I sincerely mean this. I think the matchup with Carolina Duke is the greatest sporting event in college sports. I'm saying college sports. I would take it ahead. I know I'm a lover of the round ball, but I would take it ahead of those matchups: Alabama, Auburn, Ohio State, and Michigan football. You can talk about all those matchups in Florida, Florida State, Carolina and Duke 8 miles apart. Usually great teams, great players.
You
so
get
special.
no argument from me. And Vincent Witt, believe it or not, just committed his first personal. He's been left out of the loop tonight for Clemson. And the crowd laughs when they announce Vincent Witt is first. Where have you been, Vincent?
I think this is not really good for college basketball. To be very honest and very, very sincere here, this kind of play is not really what you want in a game.
That was an ACC record, 41 fouls.
Just running and marching to that foul line is boring. Even this guy went to the sideline. He's got the W. He doesn't care about the fact that he didn't have a great game. That's why he's so special, so team-oriented.
Okulaja hits them both.
See, that's what the jersey's about at Kansas, at Duke, at North Carolina, Arizona. It's all about the team. Hey, watch Stanford. They are for real. There is no doubt about it. The Cardinal is for real. Mike Montgomery in this game.
That's it. North Carolina hangs on to win. They win an 88-79 for Dick Vitale and our entire crew. This is Mike Patrick. Good night from the Smith Center in Chapel Hill. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. SportsCenter is next.